Hello everyone. Today's topic will be pivoting data. Pivoting's been around for quite a number of years. Microsoft Excel does it very well. So does MicroStrategy Desktop and Dossier. So we will get right into it, and in order to show it, I guess I need to build a report. So I'm going to use the quick build method, or the double-click method, of adding attributes and metrics to my report. So double-click on profit, double-click on quantity, and double-click on sales. So now my metrics are on my workspace, and they're also in my drop zones. Additionally, I need to add some attributes, and we will add segment. We will add category, and lastly, we will add subcategory. So now we have a report that goes a little bit off the screen, but I want to organize this a little bit differently. It's difficult to compare, say, bookcases in the consumer group to bookcases in the corporate group, because I have to kind of go up and down. So I want to organize this differently so I can do some comparisons very quickly. So the first thing I want to do is I want to change my orientation of segment. So instead of being in the vertical space, I want to move it to the horizontal space. So to do that, you can do it one of two ways. You can drag it from segment here and put it above or below the word, the object here, metric names, or you can actually do it on the workspace. I'm going to do it in the workspace, so I'm going to left click and hold segment and drag it. Notice that the line is below the metrics in this case, and now it's above the metrics. So I'm going to go ahead and drop it there. And my organization has already gotten just a little bit better. So now I've got consumer, and then profit, quantity, and sales, corporate, profit, quantity, and sales, and then home office, profit, quantity, and sales. So the next thing, if you notice that I want to look at bookcases and the furniture, it's still a little difficult to compare profit to profit because they're separated by two columns, and I want to kind of see them side by side. So to do that, what I need to do is change the orientation of segment, the relationship between segment and the metrics. It's actually a little difficult to move the metrics here in the workspace. So I'm actually going to do it in the drop zones. So I'm going to take segment, I'm going to left click and hold, I'm going to drag segment so that that blue line, remember we talked about that in the previous video, the blue line shows up below the word metric name, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it. So now I've got profit for consumer, corporate, and home office. So now I could do my comparisons very easily for profit, the same with quantity, and same again over here for the sales. So the last thing I want to do is I want to move my metrics from the horizontal plane to the vertical plane. So in other words, I want them to be positioned like I would be reading a ledger. So I'm going to do that by taking the word metric name in the drop zone, and I could do it here as well, but I'm going to do it here. And I'm going to drag, left click and hold, and drag the word metric up to where the rows are, and go ahead and drop it. So now I've got a very nice layout. I'm just kind of spreading these out a little bit. So now I've got an organization where I can look at the profit for bookcases just across the board. And then I can also look at this as if it were a ledger. Now I might, for instance, like to have sales above my quantity. And notice when I moved it here, it also moved in all of my other spaces as well. So now I could, if I wanted to, I could actually do some math between my sales and my profit and see my, actually I could do math to figure out what my cost is. I could subtract sales, profit out of sales, and figure out what my costs are. And we will get into that further in another video. So hopefully you found pivoting data useful, and I look forward to the next video.